What is up, everybody, and welcome back to our Pro Cyclist mode with Vladimir Saracen, where today we will be doing the Renouille Tour, at least the last three stages of the Renouille Tour, the Bretagne Classic West France, the Grand Prix Cycliste de Quebec and Montreal, and Il Lombardia to end our season. And before this episode is up, we will also know what team we will be riding for in 2026. And we will start things off here with Stage 5 of the Renouille Tour. We are currently in 126th place because there was a time trial, surprise, surprise. So we are a minute and a half back, but this is the first hill stage. It's 182 kilometers. Doesn't look like anything too crazy, but the bad news is, Wout van Aert, Remco Evenepoel, both in this race. If we take a look at the favorites, Quinn Simmons also here, Van der Poel, Biniam Girmay, Tadej Pogacar. Don't think we're really up to that level yet, although I guess we probably should be. We do have 81 hills. We could be thereabouts towards the end, but I like a lot of their stats just a little bit more, this specifically right here. So we're going to give it a go, but this might be just a step too far for us. And with 29k left to go, we are going up the Keiberg, and we are about to go through three very close together sprint points. So I expect the pace to get ramped up like crazy here. And maybe after Philipsen, Deli, and all these guys use a little bit of their energy, we might look to make a move. And with 11k left to go, we are pushing the pace right now. We don't want anybody else to think they can make an attack. And up the Keiberg for the last time, Quinn Simmons looks like he's going to make a move, but due to our high pace, we are all over that. And we're going to make a move up this last climb of the day. Hopefully Quinn Simmons just burns his energy right now. And with 6k to go, Davide Cimolai leading us out. Our energy gel is popped, and we are going to attack up this last climb. We're going to stop our guys from pacing, and we're going to see if we can chase down Alaphilippe and Quinn Simmons. It might be a little bit too much to ask. They have a 13-second gap on me right now, but with 2.5k left, we're just about to catch their wheel, and we are sprinting a little too early, so we will set our effort to 92 and hope we can sprint with them. But it's going to be Girmay coming around. No, it's going to be Julian Alaphilippe, Biniam Girmay, Mathieu van der Poel, Quinn Simmons, and us in 6th place, Wout van Aert. Okay, finished in 3rd over there on the far left. I didn't see him. But a pretty decent result against the big hitters in the punching world. And that will take us to Stage 6, another hilly stage. This time 202.3 kilometers. And that golden kilometer right here looks like it's going to set us up very nicely for the little hill afterwards. So there is a move to be made. Again, a tiny little sprint finish there, but I think we're going to look to get in a forward group right around this part of the stage, and I don't think we're going to win a sprint finish, but a top 5 could be on the cards here. And with 26 kilometers left, we have reached the last group of these little hills. It's going to be the same ones we did in the first place. The Mur Saint-Roch is going to be the first one, and we're going to have to set our own pace to try and keep up, not fall too far behind. Jasper Philipsen going for those sprint points, but we're not going to kill ourselves trying to keep up. We're just going to try and hope they sit back and wait to get caught by the rest of the peloton as we go over with a little bit of a gap. And with 20k left, we do have a 30-second gap, 39. It's just growing back to the peloton. These sprinters are most likely going to wait for the peloton, but we will not be doing that. We have our protection here. We can set our effort to 85 and look to extend this until the end of the stage. And with 6K left, we are using our aerodynamic descent to get down this last hill. It looks like we have Remco 25 seconds behind us. We're going to go ahead and pop our energy gel, use our aerodynamic position, and hope we can stay ahead. We know how good Remco is on the flats, but right now our stamina looks incredible. Our gap is extending, it looks like, and we're going to hold out and wait until about 1.5, 1.4K left to start our sprint. And with Remco 21 seconds behind us, I think that is going to be a stage win for Vladimir Saracen here at the Renewy Tour. So we sprint across the line, throw our arms in the air, and it's actually Quinn Simmons in second place. Looks like we'll have about 23 seconds gained back here. And after that victory, it will take us to Stage 7, the final stage of the Renewy Tour. A 154.8 kilometer cobbled hill stage, so another one that we should be pretty decent at. And that golden kilometer comes on the second to last climb, so I think we're going to look to really push the pace and make an attack up that last climb and see if we can make a carbon copy of what happened last stage. And we're here with 25.5K left to go. We're going up the Muur-Kappelmoor. Davide Cimolai is leading the entire peloton. So the front group has been caught. Tiemann Ahrensman got away. It looked like he was going to be a threat to the GC, but not so much anymore, as we're just looking to make sure nobody makes any moves. Alberto Dainese might be looking to do something right now, but he is not a threat to us for the stage win. He's just looking for those sprint points. As right now he is, well, 5th place, so no real shot for him to win it. But Davide Cimolai, as we come up to this hill, is going to relax a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and push the pace. Piet Allegart is eating the wind for us. Cimolai, you just sit back there, bud, do your own thing. Allegart is going to get us a little gap, and hopefully we can stay away until that last climb where I really like our chances. And we have made it over that last hill. We've been joined by Quinn Simmons and Mathieu van der Poel. So we have a group of 4 elite riders here, and the peloton 40 seconds behind. And it looks like they are closing the gap. But is there a move to be made here? I think there could be. Allegart actually going to go ahead and get us some water as we just sit in and let these two tow us to the finish. And with 7.5 kilometers left to go, we are approaching the bottom of that last climb. And Allegart looks like he is just about done, but we are in a great position to make a move here right at the bottom of the hill. And we are going to go ahead and do that now. Use most of our red bar, getting up and over. Van der Poel able to follow our wheel and actually get past us. That's less than ideal. Quinn Simmons also on our wheel, but we're going to keep a steady effort, see if we can track down Van der Poel down this descent. If we can pop an acrobatic descent, just even for a little bit, we might be able to. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, so we're going to slow it down, get some stamina back, and get ready for this final sprint against Quinn Simmons, who goes a little early. And we're going to have just enough to pop a final sprint up this last little climb. But it is going to be Mathieu van der Poel, followed by Quinn Simmons, and then ourselves. So a win and a top 3 in the final stages of the Renewy Tour, as it looks like I may have spoken too soon. If our red bar holds up, it looks like we just have enough to get around Quinn Simmons. And yes, we do. We get a 2nd place at the Renewy Tour. Quinn Simmons in 3rd. Never say never. Quinn Simmons running out of stamina at the perfect time for us. And coming off of the back of that great end of the Renewy Tour for us, we have received an offer for next season from Bahrain Victorious. And if we take a look at their top riders for next season, they are a serious team with Jonathan Milan, a top sprinter, Santiago Buitrago, a great GC option, and Mate Mohoric, another Cobbley Hills guy. But it would be a great complement to our skill set, and I think this is definitely going to be our team for next season. I mean, it is the best squad we could have asked for. It is a World Tour team, and it's just going to be impossible to say no to Bahrain. And if we take a look at the squad list for next season, we will be joining, as right now, the best rider on the team, with Leo Hayter at 5 stars, and Filippo Zana also joining. But we join the likes of Fred Wright, Ben O'Connor is over here, Phil Bauhaus, Peo Bilbao, Antonio Tiberi. Rest in peace to Gino Mater, but he will be riding for this team as well, and hopefully we can play a hand in getting him some stage wins. And now, with the pressure of signing a new contract off of our shoulders, it's the perfect race to kind of let loose and have a little fun. The Bretagne Classic West France, 243.4 kilometer hilly stage, and the finish looks perfectly suited for us. We're definitely going to have a go and see if we can take top honors in this one. And we pick up with just under 21k to go. And the front group of Julian Alaphilippe, Dylan van Barle, Biniam Girmay just about to be caught. Jonas Vingegaard deciding to make a move, so we are absolutely going to set our pace to try and keep up with this front group. We can't let Vingegaard get away. As Roglic goes now, followed by Vlasov and Geoghegan Hart. And we're going to try and stick with this right here. We're going to not follow Giulio Ciccone, actually. It looks like this break doesn't have any legs quite yet. So we're going to go ahead and move our energy back down to 75, even down to 65. And we do not want to be leading the group just yet, as Geoghegan Hart and Tade decide to go. And I think we will put in a little dig at the bottom of this hill if it looks like that move is going to have legs. And it does. I'm not quite sure. We're going to get to the top. We're just going to look to make a move up that last hill and hope we can claw back this 16-second advantage that Tade and Tao have right now. And with 8k left to go, we have caught Tade. Jonas also trying to make a move over, but we followed that, and our energy gel has been popped, and we're going to look to set an effort and attack right at the bottom of this last hill, as it's, I don't even know who's up there in front right now, but we're going to go ahead and attack and use as much of our red bar as we can. Go 92 the rest of the way up this hill, but unfortunately Tade is on our wheel and we have to recover some stamina. We cannot completely run out of energy before the finish, and it's a group of 10 with a 22-second gap. We're going to have to lower the pace even more, so that is going to let more riders back in as the sprint goes off, and we are not going to have enough to go with that front group. I'm hoping we might be able to sneak a top 10, but it's looking incredibly unlikely, as Ben Tullett, Remco Evenepoel, Tadej Pogacar going to podium the Bretagne Classic this year as we come across the line in 13th. Not a terrible position, and I think we will be happy with that. And up next, we have a race that historically I have been very bad at, so I'm not expecting too much. You can see our fitness down at 81%, as we do have a rest week this week. Everything's in preparation for Il Lombardia, and this I'm really not expecting us to be there towards the end, but if it's an easy race, we could be there, and we'll give it a go. But besides that, I think we're going to be working for Giulio Ciccone and Alessio Martinelli today, and I think with good reason. And our role today was to be the Barrador, so we jumped into the early break. Right now we have a 3-minute advantage. Still 186 kilometers left to go though, so a lot left to be raced. And we are here with 13k left to go. Andrea Baggioli has gone ahead and bridged to this front group. We have dropped the other riders we were with. It's a minute and 5 seconds back to the other riders. We're just going to sit on Baggioli's wheel, because if we can keep up with him, we might have a shot at this stage. Right now our energy not in the best spot, but I mean, we're going to go all out for it, so we're just going to stick to Baggioli, see if we can win that little sprint up that last hill. Right now it looks like Baggioli slowing down on this descent might leave the door open for the group behind. And with 5k to go, Baggioli is making his move. We're gonna have to set our effort back down to 65 and hope we can limp up this last hill with enough to get a top 5. It looks like somebody is gonna close behind us. That is Quinn Simmons, our biggest rival, it seems like, in this series. But we still have a 53-second gap to the group behind. I think we can go ahead and set it up to 65, maybe 75. That group closing very fast. We still have 1.8 kilometers left to go. Our yellow bar in a terrible spot. If we had just a little bit better fitness, I think this race might have been a different story today. But right now the tiredness just really taking it out of us as the sprinters do come around, and we can go ahead and try and kick, but we're still going to run out just before the line. But it's going to be Baggioli, Simmons, Pogacar to round out your podium at the Grand Prix Cyclist de Quebec. And it looks like we are going to get a top 15, which is not a bad position at all, just ahead of Max van der Meulen? Max van der Meulen. There we go. And that will lead us into the Grand Prix Cycliste de Montreal, a 205.7 kilometer hill stage. This one looks less suited to us than the last one was, and again, our fitness in a pretty bad spot, so we're just going to go ahead and do whatever the race director says. If that's be a teammate for Ciccone and Martinelli, we will do that, and if it's Barrador, we will jump in the break again. And we have been told to get in the breakaway again today, so that's exactly what we have done. We're up here with Hamilton, Emil Herzog, and Jaime, so not the strongest group. I don't think it'll stay away until the end, but you know, we're just doing what our race director says until we can move on to greener pastures next season. And with 34k to go, we have been caught by a group behind, 12 riders. Giulio Ciccone is with them, and so I think we are going to be in the business of protecting Giulio Ciccone, but somehow we have managed to lose this little break. And with 17k left, we have been caught by the peloton. Pogacar looked like he was going to make an attack, but thankfully he's eased off of it. Maxime Van Heels looks like he could be a candidate to win this stage, so now we're going to go ahead and protect him and try and keep this group together until this final climb. And with 12k left, the final climb will start. And it's gonna be, looks like, I don't even know who's making an attack, but we are likely going to be dropped after this move unless we can move our effort down and manage it right to the top, and it looks like we might be able to do that until Piccolo, Benut, and Oldani attack over the final crest. See if we can stay with this group, and I think we might have just done it. I want to give Maxime Van Heels the best chance to win. There's one more final tiny climb as Joao Almeida looking to get there first, but we need to keep it together for our team right now, and I think we are just going to get over this crest and keep our riders in touch with this group that keeps making attacks. as there are 5K left. We're going to pop our energy gel, and we cannot sustain that pace until the end. And it's Tullett and Pogačar right now just powering away. Peloton, nobody really chasing it down as we crack with 2.5K left to go. And Giulio Ciccone looks like he is going to be the one to go for the win. I want to know where Maxime Van Hils is, in a terrible position. But right now, Giulio Ciccone, as we go to the front of the race, it looks like it's going to be Benny Girmay. Oh no, Ben Tullett, Pogačar stayed away. I missed that. And Biniam Girmay coming across in third place. So another Classics win for Ben Tullett. And we have reached our last race of the episode Il Lombardia, a 235.1 kilometer cobbly mountain stage, which on the surface doesn't look like one we're going to thrive at, but if we can make it over that last mountain climb in touch of the first group, we could use our acrobatic descent, and that last mountain looks more like a cobbled hill, which I would definitely give us the advantage on. So if we can stick with the front group beyond this mountain, I think we have a pretty decent chance at pulling home our first monument. But there are a lot of ifs and buts in there. We'll have to see how the race shakes out. And with 47K left to go, we have made it to the last two of the mountain passes. Vlasov making a move, and I think we're going to have to increase our effort just to keep up. But we are doing a good job of staying with some great riders. Vingegaard back here, Ayuso, Hindley. So I wouldn't completely rule it out just yet that we are in play for the stage. But if they decide to push it up to San Salvatore, then this could spell the end of our race. And at the top of the San Salvatore climb, we have managed to stick with a group with Alex Vlasov, Tadej Pogačar, Jonas Vingegaard. We're a little above our heads here, but if we can make it through this last mountain climb, I think we have to consider ourselves one of the favorites to win this stage, as long as we can chase down the two leading riders, who are Miguel Angel Lopez and Matteo Jorgensen. Right now have a 37-second gap on us. And with 33K left, we're at the bottom of the Selvino climb, and moves are going up the road. We don't want to use too much of our energy early, not at the steep stuff, but we also can't afford to let this move get too far up the road. Too many dangerous riders. Pogačar just seems like he can attack forever. Even Vingegaard starting to get dropped. But we are in a group, 3 groups back, and we do have our acrobatic descent that we can use down here, so I'm not super worried. Pogačar right up there by himself right now. Our stamina still in a pretty decent spot, as we are about halfway through this last climb. We can't afford to stop and get water yet, as we do catch the group in front, so it's going to be Tadej on his own as we pull back the reins just a little bit. That's going to open the door for Jai Hindley. And we're just going to sit on 77 for right now until this move picks up a little bit of steam. And then we're going to go right back up to 87 as we are just about to get to the top of this last climb. And we desperately, desperately need to hold on to that yellow bar so we can feather between 77 and 87. And right now our red bar just going to run out as we crest over the top of that climb, and this group does now have a 25-second advantage over us. But once we get onto this descent, we'll have to see if we can make up the difference, as we immediately get our red bar back. And now if we get a little bit of that yellow back, I think it could be acrobatic descent time, which it is. We've got to take risks here. We have to catch up to this group before we get to the flat, and we're actually going to get water while we can and then go straight back onto the acrobatic descent, as we are now only 13 seconds back to the group, and we have actually managed to hold on, and we are in a great position here to maybe win our first monument. And with just under 7K left to go, attacks are starting to go up the road on the flat. We're actually going to pull back a little bit because we are interested in attacking right at the bottom of this climb. We're going to let the pace go down quite a bit as we move it up to 92. And our energy gel pops. We're going to go ahead and launch our attack. Going to use as much of that acceleration as we can, and it looks like we do have a small gap. We can't let our yellow bar completely run out. We have 13 seconds, and we just get over the top with a gap of 9 seconds to the riders behind. We're going to go ahead and set our descent to 85. No acrobatic descent here, but it looks like we are getting back some of our stamina. 12 seconds left to the peloton behind, and we have enough to unleash a little sprint here at the end. And it's 13 seconds, 10 seconds, and it's going to be our first monument win with Vladimir Saracen, the last race of the season, Il Lombardia. This is going to be our race for the foreseeable future. And there we see Vladimir Saracen on the podium of his first monument win, Il Lombardia, coming in just ahead of Tadej Pogacar and Juan Ayuso. And this has been a long time coming, and it's going to be a nice springboard for next season. And with that monument victory, we do level up to level 18. We get a skill point, and we can see down here our next level up, we will get to improve once again. So a big level up just before the start of next season. And through these months where there's no racing, we get a lot of points just from the months ending. And with our skill point, I think we're going to max out charisma, as we are now going to be at one of our preferred teams. I can see us being on Bahrain for a long time. I actually really like that team in real life. So we are going to go ahead and get more points to change our race calendar and make teammate requests for next season. And coming off of the biggest win of our career so far, that is actually going to bring the episode to an end. And in the next episode, we will start our 4th season, this time with Bahrain victorious in the World Tour. So we are going to need a lot more of those monument wins. But I wanted to say thank you for all of your support on the series. If you enjoyed the content, please feel free to subscribe, leave a like. It helps out a lot. And I try to post at least one of the videos of this series every week, and one video from our Team Sky career mode every Saturday. But for now, I just wanted to say thank you, and I will see you later.